Good morning.
Good morning.
Give us your name, your DOC number, please.
What, hey, hold on for a second. Well, I don't know what she said, a DOC number. It's
Give us your date of birth. Give us your date of birth.
3/26/86.
And your name again?
Patrick Dewitt.
All right, good morning, Patrick. My name is Pearl Wise. To my left is Mr. Marabella, and to my right is Mr. Roche. You comprise your panel this morning. Let me explain the process. I'm going to read some information into the record. Afterwards, we're going to conduct an interview. An interview is going to start with Mr. Marabella. After we complete our interview, we're going to ask the staff there to share with us what they want to share with us about how you've been doing. And after that, before we vote, we're going to give you an opportunity to tell us whatever you want us to know. And after you make your statement, we'll vote. You understand the process?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me read the information into the record. Your name is listed as Patrick Lynn DeWitt. You're listed as the second offender. Your offense is aggravated battery and second-degree battery. You were sentenced on September the 18th of 2019, and that supervision was revoked on April the 8th of 2021. And then there's another sentence of March the 5th of 2021. Let me say that you were sentenced on September the 18th of 19, and you were sentenced to serve 3 years with DOC, suspended, and placed on supervised probation for 2 years for the aggravated battery. Let me see here. For the aggravated battery, okay. And because of the revocation on September the 18th of 19, you're here. You have a new offense where you were sentenced on March the 5th of 21. You were sentenced to serve 4 years at hard labor as to a second-degree battery. And this sentence was set to run concurrent with any other documents. Does that sound about right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your parole eligibility date is listed as January the 11th of 2023. You do not earn good time. And your full term date is April the 20th of 2024, because you're serving a total of 4 year sentence. Is that about right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. You see that?
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Mr. DeWitt, my name is Tony Marabella. The case was assigned to me, so I'll start out the interview process. I show that you're 36, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been in prison on these charges?
I've been 33 months.
Tell me a little bit about your educational background.
Well, I ain't finished high school. I had dropped out in the 9th grade.
Okay. Did you get your GED?
No, sir.
Why not?
I don't know. I just was caught up in the streets. I guess I ain't get a chance to go back and get it.
Tried to get it while you've been in prison for the last 33 months?
No, sir.
Why not?
Because this facility right here, they ain't got no classes. They don't offer GED or nothing.
Drugs, alcohol, you ever use drugs?
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about that. When did you start using drugs?
I probably started using drugs when I probably about like 26, 27 years old.
You start using?
Sir?
When did you start using drugs?
I was using ecstasy pills.
How did you get started using ecstasy pills?
I hang around the bad crowd, I guess. The wrong crowd.
How old were you in the 9th grade when you dropped out of school?
I probably was like 16.
What did you do from the time you were 16 till the time you were 26? 10-year period, no drugs? That's surprising that a person would start at 26 using drugs. What did you do from that time period?
Well, I was drinking. I had started drinking at a young age, about 16, smoking weed, like doing like the average drug like weed and drinking. But I ain't
You don't think weed is a drug? I asked you about drugs. You said ecstasy at 26. So you started
Yeah,
smoking marijuana at an earlier age. Is that fair to
Yes, sir.
say? How old were you when you started smoking marijuana?
I probably like 16
How often would you smoke marijuana?
every day.
All right, now, a second ago, when I asked you about drugs, you said 26, 27. You don't consider marijuana a drug?
Well, not really, because it's like
Why
it
would you
ain't.
smoke marijuana every day?
I don't know, probably. I don't know. I don't know really.
But what did marijuana do for you?
It got me high. Like it made me feel real good. Kind of like take the stress off me a little.
You don't think that's a drug?
It ain't really no drug like ecstasy and cocaine. Like
Why not?
Well, I really can't explain.
You couldn't stop smoking it, could you? You smoked it every day.
Yeah,
Why didn't you stop?
I don't know. I can't explain.
Well, I think you can explain. I think you can explain it because it's addictive. And it's something that made you feel good because you didn't feel good about yourself. That's a drug.
Yeah.
Were you smoking marijuana when you committed this first offense in 2019?
No, sir. I wasn't smoking then. I was on ecstasy. I'm like ecstasy
So
then.
you already moved from marijuana to ecstasy.
Yes, sir.
Were you on ecstasy in 2019 when you committed this first crime?
Yes, sir.
How often were you using ecstasy then?
It probably every other weekend or something.
Consider yourself to be a drug addict?
No, I ain't. No, I wouldn't say I'm no drug addict, but I used a lot of drugs while I was out.
Or what would you call it?
I really don't know. I mean, I wasn't really just using it like. Well, you might well say I'm an addict then if I was using it a
Well,
lot.
no, I want to know what you're going to say. I mean, yeah, I say it, but I haven't heard you say it. You said no. You haven't thought about that up until now? Why did you use ecstasy? What did it do for you that you couldn't get somewhere else?
It made me speed a lot. It just made me feel good.
Did you work during that time?
Yes, sir.
What kind of work did you do?
I was at Tyson Food.
I'm sorry, what?
At Tyson Food.
Tyson Food, what, the chicken place or what?
Yeah. I stayed up
How
for
long?
like I had stayed at Tyson Food for like a year or something.
What's the longest job you ever had? Is that the longest job you ever had?
Yes, sir.
So did you start, what age did you start working at?
I started well, I had started at 16. I started at a grocery store.
Who were you living with at 16 years old?
I lived with my grandmother.
And did you ever move out from your grandmother? Where were you living in 2019 when you first committed this crime?
I was living with the girl I committed the crime on.
Were you working at that time?
Yes, sir.
And how often were you using ecstasy? And when was the last time you used marijuana? You said you kind of started using ecstasy. You quit using marijuana?
Yeah, I had started smoking marijuana a long time ago. I can't really remember when I stopped, but I've been started smoking marijuana.
Well, from the time you stopped smoking marijuana, what did you start using? Ecstasy?
I started using this. I probably when I started working at Tyson Food, that's when I started using it really, because I mean it's a job that work you a lot. Then ecstasy just keep you up, and like keep you energized and going, because that's a job right there that work a lot of hours and you need a lot of energy to kind of work.
Tell me, let's talk a little bit about what happened on June the 12th of 2019 with Lakeitha Davis. Tell me what happened.
And we just got into an altercation, a bad argument. Really though, we got into an argument. Really, she came at me with the baller, but I tried to block the ball and the baller broke on the floor. But you know, the arresting officer came, you know, they were just gonna charge me with domestic battery, but I ain't never touch her though, but the ball was on the floor, so they seen the ball on the floor and they was like, did he hit you with a ball? And she said, yeah, and so they just upgraded my charges to aggravated battery. But I played
Yes, drinking the vodka.
sir.
Who was drinking the Grey Goose vodka that this fight was about and she got cut over? Tell me who was drinking that.
Yeah, me and her was drinking.
So were you drunk?
Yeah, until we both was drunk.
So were you using ecstasy as well?
Yeah, we were using drugs too, so both of us.
How do you know what happened?
Because I mean, I wasn't, you know, I was still in my right state of mind. I'm talking about I just wasn't just too whacked out of my mind though.
So you pled guilty to that charge, didn't you?
Yeah, I played guilty. That's why I feel
Saying-
sad.
All right, whoa. But you say you didn't do it. She attacked you.
Yeah, she did, but I guess since I pled guilty, I'm guilty.
I hear that and I understand that. I want to know what it is you're telling me your role was in this. You say you were drunk, you were on ecstasy, she attacked you with a bottle, and you pled guilty. So explain to me why that happened.
I mean, I just got tired of sitting in jail and I was ready to go home, so I just pled guilty to the charge.
So you didn't really care about what was going on. You just wanted to get out of jail.
Yeah, I'm talking about at the time I did.
So you pled guilty to a felony charge
Yes,
and you
sir.
got put on probation for 3 years.
Yes, sir.
What were your conditions of probation?
Well, one of them was not to be around her. Not to be around the victim. Go report it. Go report, pay your fees.
Did you have to go to anger management or a domestic violence program of some sort?
No, man. No, sir.
You didn't do any of that? You didn't go to any kind of an anger management course, or the judge didn't require you to do any of those things?
No, sir.
So did you ever see Lakeitha Davis again?
Yeah, I seen her again.
But you broke up with her.
No, we ain't really, we had we probably broke up like for a little while, then we ended up getting back together.
When did you get back together?
Probably like a few weeks after I got out of jail.
You went back with her in spite of the fact that the judge told you to stay away from her.
Yes, sir.
So who is Raven Sanders?
See, I don't know her.
You don't know her. You were on probation and you got into another fight and you punched another woman in the face. Now, did she come fighting with you? Is it her fault too?
No, it wasn't really her fault. It just was like, it was like really like a group fight with some people just pulling up.
Were you drinking?
Yeah, I was drinking then.
Were you taking ecstasy?
Nah, I wasn't on ecstasy then.
How often do you drink?
Probably like every other day.
You're an alcoholic?
Yes, sir, you can say that.
What are you going to do to stop drinking?
I ain't gonna drink no more, like being in jail for like the 33 months I've been down here.
Well, how long were you in jail? How long were you in jail in 2019 when you pled guilty? You told me you pled guilty because you were tired of being in jail.
Yeah, I probably was in jail like 3-4 months.
That didn't affect you? That didn't make you think, well, maybe I should quit drinking? Maybe I'll end up in jail?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, you think about that.
Well, you went back to drinking and you went back to beating. Have you ever taken any anger management classes?
No, sir.
You ever taken any domestic violence programs?
No, sir.
Have you ever had any substance abuse treatment?
No, sir.
How do you intend on staying sober when you get out?
I'm just gonna stay away from drinking and drugs.
Well, why haven't you done that before?
I don't know, man. I just was just caught up then, then when I was
Well-
out there, I was really caught up.
Okay, well, let me ask you something. Why are you here before the board today?
Trying to make parole.
What do you want us to do today?
I want y'all to grant me parole so I can get out and just get another chance at life.
What do you think our responsibility is and our job is? We look at people to grant them parole. What do you think we look at to see who they are and what they're gonna do when they get out? What do you think we do with that?
I think y'all look for improvements and stuff like that.
Well, I'm gonna ask you again, how you gonna stay sober? Because you haven't done it yet.
I'm just gonna stay away from drinking just for 5
Why
years.
haven't you done that before?
Because I just was out there being crazy, man, being crazy and just hang around the wrong people. This time, I think I got it together. Now I'm gonna get out and go get me a job and just stay away from drinking.
You've been working since you were 16 years old. You haven't kept a job longer than a year, but you've been working.
Yeah.
And you've been drinking all this time. Smoking marijuana, taking ecstasy. Have you ever heard of the 12 steps?
No, sir.
Have you ever heard of AA?
Yeah, I'm talking about like, yeah, oh, yes, I heard of AA.
Have you ever gone to an AA meeting?
No, sir.
Were you ever drug tested when you were on supervision in 2019 when the judge put you on active supervised probation? Did they ever drug test you? Did they ever, did you tell them that you drank a lot?
No, sir, they ain't never drug test me, I ain't never tell them.
Now, you wrote a letter to the parole board, and I read it, and it said that you're a changed man. How did you change? Why did you change? Tell me that.
Yeah, I'm talking about change because, man, I realized I got a 14-year-old daughter out there, and I'm just trying to change for the better for her because every day I talk to her, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's like she just, you know what I'm saying? I just got to get back out there with her, man, because.
Didn't you have an 11-year-old daughter when you committed this last crime and was still drinking?
Yes, sir.
Why is that different? She's just 3 years older now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, sitting here for 3 years, I mean, I just got a different perspective on life now. I just want to do something different myself. I just want to live a positive life. I don't want to be like that no more.
I believe that you want to get out and you're tired of being in prison. But I don't think you've given a second thought to how you're going to stop drinking. Or what the drinking even means to you and what it's done to you. Have you taken any programs while you've been in prison, either 2019 to today? Have you taken anything that would help?
No, sir, because these, like I say, this facility ain't got no program in the house, so I ain't took no classes, no program.
Supervised probation for 3 years. You were a regular hard drinker. And it never dawned on you to go to an AA meeting or get a substance abuse evaluation treatment.
No, sir.
How often did you see your probation?
I probably seen her like once or twice.
A month or once or twice until you got revoked?
Well, I probably see her to once or twice since I got provoked.
You have unanimous law enforcement opposition. You're a moderate risk to reoffend, and I assume that's because of your substance abuse problems. Sergeant Toops, can you tell us anything about Mr. Dewitt?
Well, what can I tell you, sir?
Well, anything that you'd like us to know about it. We've got a decision to try to make here.
Okay. Well, I would better be directed by answering your questions, but I've known Mr. Dewitt for a long time. I don't know all of the details of his time on the street or his probation or parole time. But I'll be glad to answer anything you have, sir.
Do you have any programs there at all that would benefit him in any way? Are there any sort of programs that you have at your facility there?
No, sir, not for DOC prisoners.
What does he do all day?
He goes out on a work crew, sir.
Where is he working?
Various locations throughout the parish, improving the, I'm sorry, I've got a lot going on behind me here. Whether it's litter abatement or any type of small project required him throughout the parish, he would serve on a work crew to see that that is done.
All right, thank you. Does he have any disciplinary write-ups or any disciplinary issues while he's been there?
No, sir.
That's all.
All right, thank you. Mr. Rushing, okay, you you don't have any visitors. Where's your family today?
Well, my mom, she been dealing with a lot because she just lost her mom, so she like
Sorry.
she like she stressed. I'm talking, she stressed out, so that's why she couldn't attend.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry for the loss of your grandmother. You going through that? Okay. What stands out to me is that all your crimes are violence against women. In this 4 years, you've had time to think about that. What did you come up with?
I just want to say I'm sorry because I really, I ain't like that. And I'm really sorry. I just let drugs alcohol get the best of me. I'm just really sorry, man. Otherwise,
Oh, you said that you have a daughter, right? Is that correct? You have a daughter? Okay, you have a daughter who, let's just go ahead and say it, she's probably gonna date someday.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want her to meet somebody that when they get into an argument, there's violence?
No, ma'am.
Now, if I read the second incident correctly, you were back in a relationship with Miss Davis, and some girls were going. Miss Davis was going to confront a girl over something, and then you just showed up and you were fighting on behalf of the victim first crime. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
And then again, but again, help me with this. You have no reservation about hitting women.
I mean, it's a bad thing to do. It's crazy. Like I say, I was out there, I just was living the wrong kind of lifestyle and around the wrong people, man. I'm talking like since like if I would have just left Miss Davis alone, I wouldn't have been in this situation. It's like I was around the wrong people.
Well, now you can say that all day, but you still have to look at you, like Ms. Marabella was saying, and figure out who you are. Because you had a choice there, and make sure you look at that. And I do want to say for the record that Ms. Davis is unopposed to your release. That's probation parole was able to reach her, and that was her view. That's all I have. So what do you want to tell us now before we vote?
If I don't make parole, if y'all can give me some kind of class or rehabilitation, I'd love to accept that too.
Okay. That's good. Good to hear. The panel ready to vote? Yeah. Okay, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. DeWitt, it's been an interesting conversation today. I think that it's unfortunate for you that you've been in a place where you haven't had any programs, because you really need some programs. You really could benefit from some programs. I'm very concerned that you were put on active supervised probation for a very violent offense when you weren't required to do any sort of anger management. No one looked into the fact that you had a serious drinking problem. Nothing was done about that. And then you reoffended again. And I got the impression, frankly, from talking with you that you really didn't think you had a drug or drinking problem. until we talked about it. And, you know, your attitude towards the end of the interview was a lot different. And I don't know if that's because you think that's what we want to hear or what. I just think that if I were to vote to let you out, you'd be right back in here in a month. But you're not getting any programs where you are now. So my vote is to deny your parole today, but encourage you and maybe even look to DOC to transfer you somewhere where you can get some clearance. Would you be willing to take some substance abuse programs if they were available to you?
Yes, sir.
Do you think you need them?
Yes, sir.
Why do you think you need them?
I just need some kind of help, like getting to some program, know somebody so I won't get out and smoke and drink and come back to jail again.
All right, that's my vote.
All right, thank you. Mr. O'Shea?
Mr. DeWitt, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to list all the reasons that I'm going to deny you. And I want you to hear this and visualize it, and so you can do something about it. You're on supervision and you had poor supervision. It was only revoked in April of 2021. We have a tendency towards violence when it concerns females. The entire legal community is opposed to your release. It's judge, the DA's office, and law enforcement. You need some additional anger management therapy, and you need some substance abuse. You have a moderate risk assessment, which tells us that you have a moderate chance of reoffending. If I would release you today, I would set you up for failure. Therefore, I'm going to deny you until you get the help that you need.
Thank you, Mr. O'Shea. Mr. Patrick, I think that you had the opportunity today to really reflect and think. I don't think you've really done much of that because you've just been kind of doing. I don't know what's the process in that facility, but start making some requests to get moved to a DOC facility. And on my end, I'm gonna write it on the paperwork that you get moved to a DOC facility where you can get some substance abuse treatment and perhaps even a trade. So my vote is the same to deny for the reasons I already stated on the record. Our best wishes to you.
Okay.
This is our last case at Madison. We thank y'all so much for accommodating us and DeSoto. We thank y'all for accommodating us this morning and in such a great fashion. Y'all have a great day.
Okay.